to my channel and welcome to a day in the life vlog. We'll see how long this vlog actually ends up being because it is already after 1 and I am just now introing it. But I've just been working this morning. I actually have another work call I need to hop on here in about 10 minutes. But I wanted to say hi and welcome. Like I said, today's video is going to be a day in the life, and I also kind of want to focus more specifically on some of the behind the scenes of content creation because I'm also working on some of that today. And then I also want to share with you some updates of some big things that have been happening with that. And so I'll do that probably later this afternoon when I have a little bit more time. One of those things, one of those updates is that we hit 50K here on YouTube, which is so crazy and so exciting, and I am seriously so thankful for each and every single one of you, and so thankful to have this space to share my life and ultimately to share what God is teaching me and all the things, and to hopefully encourage you and build you up in Him. And so truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, and thank you for every sweet and encouraging comment. None of it goes unnoticed, and so I just want to say thank you. I am actually going to be doing a giveaway to celebrate, and so I'll share the details of that later on in this video as well. That's what we're doing. Like I said, I've just been working this morning and had my quiet time and breakfast this morning, and I wanted to share a little update on that because I made a whole video talking about just being in a spiritual slump and how I've really been struggling in that area with distraction. And honestly, the most important thing is to just keep showing up on the days you feel it and the days you don't. And one thing that I've been doing that's been helping is I've told Tyler, my husband, like I need his accountability in terms of not going on my phone in the morning before having that time. And so I've told him to just, be on me for that and to not let me check it, because I think I've just recognized like I just haven't been able to fight that distraction on my own. And so that's one thing I wanted to share is accountability is huge and not trying to do it alone, and letting people help you in that. And so that is one thing that I've been doing that's been helpful, and also just figuring out a new rhythm, because part of why it was harder in sort of like figuring out a new routine is that typically I'll have my quiet time first thing when I wake up in the morning, but being pregnant I need to eat right when I wake up or else I'll feel really sick. And then usually once I've eaten, it feels like, oh, I need to start work, and then it's kind of harder to get back to just being in that focused place to have a quiet time. And so I've been trying to wake up earlier, and that's something that Tyler's been helping me with, is to actually get up when I'm planning to get up so that I can have breakfast and still have time to have a quiet time before I feel like I need to start work and jump into that. And so just wanted to share that encouragement of accountability and trying to be disciplined and getting up, because I know that those are things that are really helpful for me. Other things, I had a YouTube video go live this morning, so I was getting things posted for it. It is the video on how I knew my husband was the one, and so that is already live. If you haven't seen it and want to check it out, I'll have it linked. I think it's this corner, but that is there. And sorry, I stopped filming because our sweet neighbor came over. They do like the meal kit delivery service, and they're going out of town this week, and she said that they forgot to cancel some of their meals and asked if they wanted them, and we've never tried like the meal kit, so maybe we'll make that for dinner. But I think that was all I was planning to say. I need to hop back into work, but then we'll touch base later to film a video, because that's one of the content creation things I wanted to work on today, and I'll kind of explain my process for that and all the things. So I'll catch you in a bit. It is a little after 4. I just finished up work and I'm now going to be prepping to film a YouTube video. And that's one of the great things about summer, is that if it were winter right now, I would not be filming a video at 4 because I wouldn't have any light. But it's summer, so we've got at least another solid 2 hours of light, and so we're going to get this thing filmed. And I thought I'd talk you guys through a little bit of how I prep to film my videos. So obviously every video is different in terms of the prep work that goes into it. Like my Bible Study With Me series, for example, I made an entire video sharing how I prep for those, and that is a lot more extensive in terms of the prep work because I'm, reading through and doing a lot of study, using a lot of resources and getting an outline all dialed in to film those. And so not every video is that extensive in terms of the prep work, but even for non-Bible study videos that are sit-down videos, I do like to at least kind of organize my thoughts on paper first. I didn't always used to do this in the beginning of my YouTube channel. I didn't as much, but I've found that doing this really just helps filming to go more smoothly if I can process and organize my thoughts beforehand. I actually started a blog way before I ever did YouTube, and that writer in me, I think I just work better with the written word in terms of organizing my thoughts, and so I found that to be really helpful. This is also something I do when I speak. I've just found that I really need to, again, organize my thoughts and not necessarily have things lined out word for word how I'm going to say them, but just get the flow of thought and the structure and the organization down, and then kind of like highlight certain areas where maybe I do want to make sure something is worded the right way. That's kind of what I do for prepping for my videos, and not only does it help with the flow of filming, but it also helps on the editing end, because one of the other updates is that I did actually start working with an editor, and it has been so amazing just in terms of working with someone who honestly knows what they're doing more than I do and is much more efficient at that. I've talked about how my goal for a long time has been to go to do 2 videos a week and have one of those videos be more like lifestyle, like this vlog that you're watching, and one more of like a sit down faith-based video, whether that's a Bible study or kind of addressing a certain topic from a biblical perspective. And again, that's been my goal for a long time, but with working another job, I just got to the point of realizing I wasn't able to do that. And then getting pregnant and being super sick for the first trimester, it was hard to stay on top of editing, even just for one video. And I think for a while I wanted to hold on to it because I loved the idea of being able to kind of creatively put my touches on it and everything, and heard other YouTubers talk about how that was like their favorite part of it, and I think I wanted it to be my favorite part of it, but I just kind of had to accept the reality that I wasn't able to keep up with that, and that if I wanted to get to my goal of being able to like produce more content, which is what I truly love, is the content creation, the getting things outlined and just speaking truth and encouragement, that if I wanted to focus on that and the things that I do best and are my strengths, then I needed help in these other areas. Again, having somebody who can make it better than I can on my own, but also is matching my creative style and voice and stuff. And so that is one of the updates, and I'm super thankful for that. As for today's video, I'm going to be filming a video on comparison, because I've mentioned this here and there, more so on Instagram, I feel like, if you follow me over there. But I feel like for whatever reason, this has just been something that I have been struggling with lately. It's not to say that I've never struggled with it before, but I feel like in the past it wasn't as big of a thing as it has been lately. And so I want to make a video just speaking truth and encouragement into that topic, and I'll explain more in that video that I'm prepping right now, kind of like why that's been the case and what's been helpful to me in terms of fighting that, and also again just really speaking truth into it. And so I'm prepping my kind of outline for that video right now, and generally when I'm prepping a video and everything, I will have been thinking for a while about the video and knowing that I want to make a video on it, and then as different insights come to me through quiet times or through something I read or just a thought that I have, I'll keep like a note on my phone here in the notes app and just kind of jot down different miscellaneous thoughts. And so in this prep process, really what I'm doing is taking all those notes and organizing them and seeing where there might be sort of a natural structure or organization to help keep my thoughts flowing through the video. Who knows if that's interesting to you, but that's how I prep it, and that is what we're prepping. Something I will sometimes do if there's a topic I know I'm going to film on is I will put it out on Instagram, sharing that I'm going to film, and then asking for your thoughts or any specific questions or things you want me to address within that topic. And so I did actually post a post on my Instagram this morning doing that, and it's been really insightful to read through your comments and just see where some of you relate to this struggle or realizations you've had, and it does help kind of guide my video in terms of knowing how to speak into it. And so I just wanted to mention that in case you're not following me on Instagram, that if you ever want to sort of be able to participate in the creation of these videos, or have like, I'm talking on something so specific and you're like, I wish you would talk on this specific thing in it, or I had this specific question, I do often put that out over there. And so make sure you're following along if you want to be able to, again, just contribute to how I'm preparing for these videos. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Then we're gonna film, and I'll check in with you guys. So I was reviewing the footage for this vlog and realized I somehow accidentally deleted literally the entire clip where I was sharing the rest of the updates that I wanted to share in this vlog. And so it was supposed to go right here in the video, so we're just gonna pop right in and give those updates. The first one is on the giveaway I referenced earlier in this video for hitting 50K here on YouTube. And I'm actually gonna be doing that giveaway over on Instagram. And so if you want to enter, you can head over to this post on my Instagram feed. I just posted it this morning before this video went live as you're now watching it. And so if you want to enter, you can find all the details and information to enter over on that post. Just make sure you are subscribed here on my YouTube channel first and then follow the steps over there and you'll be good to go. But what we're giving away is a journaling Bible, and this is the one that I personally use and that I use in my Bible study with me videos here on YouTube. And it's single column ESV, which means it has the text, but then also space over here for you to write notes. And then this particular one is leather bound, and so it's got leather with like a little wraparound flap thing here and the little string. And so I love this Bible. I've used it for years now and I want to gift it to one of you. And so if you want to enter, head over to my Instagram post to check out the details. The next update, and this is kind of keeping with the theme of updates I've been sharing in terms of things I've been doing to kind of invest in more of the business side of content creation and just set myself up in that way. And that update is that I have a new website. So like I mentioned, I actually had a blog before I ever started on YouTube. And when I first created that blog or that website, it was primarily set up as a blog, and a friend of mine helped me set it up. She did a beautiful job. I loved it, had it that way for a lot of years. But as I've grown and added to what I do in terms of content creation, so now also doing YouTube and speaking and my Still Single devotional, I wanted an updated website that kind of reflected and represented all of what I do, including the blog, but also the other things. And so I worked with a design team that helped me come up with just a whole new website, and I love the way that it turned out. And so I'll have that linked down below if you want to check it out. It's still the same link as before, so kacinicole.com, but we've got some fun resources over there, frequently asked questions, and links to some of my favorite resources, i.e. this and all the rest of the tools I use in my Bible study videos. And we also added some fun features to the About page and some fun facts and all of that. So check it out and let me know what you think. And then the final update, kind of going along with the website, is that I will be starting a monthly newsletter, which I'm so excited about. And so this is just going to be a chance for me to pop in your inbox on a monthly basis. And my goal here and my desire and my hope is to really provide value in these newsletters. And so these are going to include exclusive devotionals and just monthly encouragement for you. And then I'm also going to kind of, give a highlight of the different content I put out in that month and include some special links to different study tools or products I've been loving that month. And I would also really love to hear from you what you would like to see in this newsletter, because again, we all get a million emails, and I want to make sure that if you are signed up for this list and you're receiving this email, that it's something that is encouraging you and adding value to your life. And so leave any comments down below of things that you would like to see me include in that monthly newsletter. It's going to go out on the first Monday of every new month, and so the first one will be dropping in the very beginning of September. And so I have a link down below to sign up for my monthly newsletter. If you're not already on that email list and you want to get it, just head down there. But I think that was all the updates that I previously missed. So now back to the video. Lastly, I want to tell kind of just a fun little God story that relates to all these updates I've been giving of things that I've been doing to invest in more of like the business side of the content I create on here. One of the things I did, in addition to like the website and everything else I've shared, is earlier this year I got a new laptop, because I had had mine for quite a few years and it was running into some different issues with it, and decided to invest in a new laptop. When I went to go get it, first of all, Tyler and I, as a side note, had gotten like the Southwest Rewards credit card because we traveled to see, like to San Diego and just to family and stuff quite a bit, and we had spent a lot on flights, and so we decided to get the Southwest card to be able to get points and everything, and we actually qualified for like the companion pass. This is now a total side story, but side note, we're doing a lot of traveling in August, and we paid for 0 of the flights because with this credit card we were able to get a lot of points and also the companion pass, so we only pay for one of our flights and then the second one of us is free. But anyways, I had just gotten this card, and in order to get that like companion pass bonus or whatever, I knew we had to spend a certain amount, and so I waited to get the card in the mail to go get the laptop because I knew that that was going to be like a bigger expense. I went to the Apple store to get the new laptop. I knew exactly what I was going to get, but then before we ever got the card in the mail, it was like delayed way beyond when we should have gotten it, and I ended up calling and looking into it, and it turns out that our card got stolen in the mail before we ever even got it, and there was fraud activity, and so thankfully they were able to get it all cleared up and everything was good. But then when I finally went to go get the laptop, I was a little nervous about that just because there had been fraud activity that got cleared up, but then now this is going to be a pretty big charge. Cannot talk. And so I went to the Apple store and I was a little bit concerned about that, and the guy who worked there was helping me out on it, and then sure enough, when he went to ring up the laptop, it got denied because of all of this prior fraud activity that had been on it. And so I explained to him the situation, and I was like, let me just call, Chase, which owns the Southwest card, really quick. And he was like, yeah, take your time. Or I'm on the phone on hold with Chase for a while, and it's taking like 30 minutes. And I was just trying to do this really quickly on my lunch break because I literally knew like exactly what I needed. And the guy ends up coming up to me and he's like, hey, like my shift is over, but whenever you get through to them and have them release the hold or whatever, just go up to any Apple employee and they'll be able to help you. Like I have everything all rung up and ready for you to go. And I was like, okay, cool. So long story short, I was on hold for a while, and by the time as I'm sitting there like on hold, this girl comes up to me, but she said basically, I recognize you from social media because I actually went to college with Tyler. I went to music school with him, and she's like, I just have to say I've been so encouraged by your relationship and think it's so beautiful, and just wanted to like introduce myself and say hi. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so thankful you did, like it's so good to meet you. And it was just such a sweet little interaction, and I didn't really think much of it. But then when I got through to Chase and they were like, oh, you're good to go and like run the transaction or whatever, I went back up to her and I explained what happened, and I was like, hey, can you like help close me out and stuff? And she was like, yeah, happy to do it. She's like, let me just run back and do something really quick. And I was like, okay. And so she comes back and ends up telling me that she is giving me the friends and family discount, which when you're buying a laptop from Apple is like almost $300. And I was like shook. I was just like, what? Like I couldn't wrap my mind around it. And she was like, I just wanted to find some small way, which was not a small way, but I wanted to find a way to say thank you, because when we were in college together, Tyler was just such a good friend to me and everyone, and there were certain like classes, certain ones of the music classes that I had a hard time with, and he was always just so kind and willing to help me and other people, and it was honestly just got me through some of them. And so I wanted to be able to say thank you to him and thank you to you and give you this discount, and I was just shook. And it just kind of got me thinking, and I told Tyler, and I was like, hey, like, do you remember this girl? And I told him what happened. He was like, wait, what? Like when I told him about the discount and stuff, because he knew I was going to get my laptop that day. And I just thought it was such a cool story, because I think back to Tyler being in those classes and being willing to help people and just be kind, and he was never in his wildest dreams probably thinking about that leading to years later that meaning like a significant discount on a laptop for his wife, And I just wanted to share that because I think it's a cool kind of God story of like, you never know when your intentionality to just take a little bit of extra time to help someone or to be kind to someone, how one, it's impacting them, and one, how God sees that and may choose to bless that in the future in a way you might not expect. And obviously we don't do it to receive some sort of reward. We do it simply because God calls us to live that way with people, but it's just cool to remember that God sees those things and sometimes chooses to bless them in a really cool way, sometimes years later. And that was a huge blessing to me to be able to get that discount on my laptop. And I have no idea if she would watch these videos, but if you are, thank you so much. That was so kind of you, and just wanted to share that cool story. laying here in bed after dinner feeling the baby kick. I think that the baby liked the flautas. I know we liked the flautas. They were very good. I was actually supposed to go with Tyler tonight to like a little Bible study group, hang out with some friends, but honestly I was just so pooped after a very full day. Even with the parts of the day that I shared, there's just been a lot of things happening behind the scenes, a lot of upcoming things that we're just prepping for and handling logistics for, which I keep saying I will be sharing soon, but just super tired. And so gonna have a chill night and close this vlog off before I fall asleep. I wanted to share some encouragement from my quiet time this morning. You know, I always like to kind of end off my vlogs just sharing encouragement and sharing little quiet time takeaways. And so today I was reading in Romans chapter 5, and specifically the verse that says, "Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us." And this is a verse I've read a lot before. It's a verse that I just find really encouraging, and just a simple little encouraging takeaway today was the fact that it says God's love has been poured into our hearts. And I love that word poured, because this isn't just like a trickle. This isn't a little bit of his love, but it's being poured into our hearts. And I feel like that just implies an abundance and being filled with his love. And I honestly feel like that's a prayer I've been praying lately, is that God would just allow me to experience his love in new, fresh ways, and to be reminded of that. And it says here that God's love is poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit. And so if we kind of receive that through the Holy Spirit, then another little takeaway thought I had that I realized I'm just reading from my journaling Bible here is that the more we walk by the Spirit, the more aware we are going to be of God's love for us. And so again, we don't, have these spiritual disciplines like prayer or reading the Bible or spending time with God to earn God's love, because nothing we can do can make him love us more or less. But we do these spiritual disciplines to align our hearts with his. And so in that, create an awareness of his love for us and to become more like him and all the things. But I just thought that was a cool little takeaway. I would love to hear below in the comments what you're reading through, if you are reading somewhere in the Bible right now, and any encouraging thoughts you have from that. So comment that down below. But thank you so much for spending the day with me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. As a reminder, the next one will be the video on comparison, so coming soon. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you then. Bye.